South Korea has acknowledged that North Korean troops have joined combat operations in Russia's Kursk region shortly after confirmation from the U.S. Does this mean as far as a weapon supply to Ukraine is now officially on the table? For more, we're joined by President Frank Jannuzi from the Maureen and Mike Mansfield Foundation. Hello there.
Good morning.
Does South Korea's confirmation mean Seoul will now actively review how to respond to military collaboration between Russia and North Korea? What do you think?
Well, I do believe that this official acknowledgement of the DPRK troop presence in Russia clears the way for South Korea to take further diplomatic steps, essentially to hold Russia accountable for violating numerous UN sanctions resolutions which Russia itself had voted for. But beyond that, I think that we are probably in a wait-and-see mode because the South Korean government needs to assess the incoming Trump administration's approach not only to North Korea policy, but also to Russia policy before thinking about things like the provision of lethal security assistance to the Ukrainian government.
So are you saying a supply of lethal weapons from South Korea to Ukraine is not going to happen in the coming months or, soon?
I think it's very unlikely that the South Korean government would take such a step between now and the inauguration of President Trump in January. I do believe, however, that after January, after a chance to consult closely with the United States, and also after the Peru Trilateral Summit with Japan and the United States, then the South Korean government will be well positioned to make any adjustments to their security assistance policies that they may choose to make. But no, I don't anticipate any precipitous, quick move by the South Korean UN administration.
Well, we have to talk about North Korea. The regime has yet to comment on Donald Trump's election victory last week. What is North Korea really waiting for?
It's always difficult to get inside Kim Jong-un's mind.
Right.
But in this instance, I think it's relatively easy to see what he's doing. North Korea doesn't want to make the first overture to President Trump. They had a lot of symmetry, a lot of high-level dialogue in the first Trump administration. I think that Kim Jong-un probably is interested in trying to revive some form of diplomacy with the United States and President Trump. But he's not going to make the first move because he does not want to appear too eager or desperate. The fact is that President Trump is going to have to come courting the North Korean leader, who has now secured his position with Vladimir Putin. He's getting technical support, he's getting money, and he's getting diplomatic support on the international stage from Russia. So he's not going to be the one to make the first moves to engage with Trump.
Well, as widely expected, Trump has appointed Marbo Rubio as his Secretary of State. Isn't Rubio a hardliner on North Korea? What's going to happen next?
When I was a Senate staffer for then Senator Biden, I met Senator Rubio, and I've followed his career closely. I would describe Marco Rubio primarily as a pragmatist. He is a staunch anti-communist. These feelings are driven not only by his political worldview, but also by his heritage as a Cuban American, fleeing communist oppression. His family fled from Castro's Cuba. But I think that when it comes to North Korea policy, he's going to be a pragmatist. He understands that North Korea possesses nuclear weapons. He understands that any move to confront North Korea has to be done only in consultation with our allies. And so I think he'll take a firm position, but I think he'll also be pragmatic.
I'm sure North Korea is closely following all these appointments and latest developments. But do you think North Korean leader Kim Jong-un will at least try to make sure his relationship with Trump, doesn't go completely wrong?
Well, I think you're right. I think your assumption there is correct. But I would caution that the world has changed significantly since Trump was president in 2016 to 2020. North Korea is in a stronger overall position today than they were then. And so with Russian support and finance flowing, with Russian technology advancing his missile and nuclear programs, and with Russian and Chinese support diplomatically on the global stage, Kim Jong-un is frankly less interested in normalization of relations with the United States than he was during the first Trump term. So President Trump and the United States government are going to have to craft a new approach tailored to the new conditions. And I don't think we should expect simply a replay of the first Trump administration's North Korea policies.
Right, North Korea 6 years ago is not North Korea now anymore. All right, President Jannuzi, thanks so much for joining us this morning. You have a great night there.
Thank you so much.